like always, and describe the experience that qualified you for this amazing opportunity that you are running for.
Okay, so buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
So I'm an Afro-Latina, but I was born in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. I came from Puerto Rico in 1998. Even though I have a master's degree, I started working at the airport, then in a fast food restaurant, because of my fears of the language barrier that I had at that moment. But in reality, it gave me the opportunity to meet more people here in Central Florida. So the experience that I had with immigrants at the airport, that I felt very related, because we had the same struggle. It was the language, but I was just interacting with a lot of lawyers, doctors, people in so many fields. Then in the fast food restaurant, I started meeting people from the African American community, Mexican American, Anglo, so for me, it was the different experience that I really embraced till this moment. Then came to Colonial High School in 1998. I was a substitute then in 1999, became a full-time teacher, but in 2017, I became the first Latina Teacher of the Year for Orange County Public Schools. And then after that, my students start calling me, you have to run for school board, you have to run for school board. And after 150 years in having a school board for Orange County Public Schools, thanks for my students that won my campaign, I became the first Latina in Orange County Public School in 2018. So after that, when it was maybe after the pandemic, that we were fighting against all of this situation that we were living at that moment with masks and no masks and all of that situation, my district, we're having a lot of problems. Specifically, District 2, we're having a lot of suicidal situations. So I felt very, concerned, because I did not see any piece of law at the state level that supported us to support the school system on those matters. So one of my students called me and said, you should run for state rep. But everybody told me, you shouldn't. You're not going to do anything. You're a Democrat. Over there, you're going to be part of the minority. You're not going to pass any bill. But when I went to Tallahassee, I experienced another situation, and I was effective in Tallahassee. I know how to wear across the aisle. When I win in a seat, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I'm going to work with you because I am here to represent you. And I passed 8 pieces of law in Tallahassee, most of them with Republicans, others with Democrats. But, it was in the business side, also with working families, even with immigrants. In one of the worst moments in Florida, that we have our immigrants being persecuted and harassed by the current government. So I think that because of that experience, and see the opportunity to run for District 4 as a commissioner, that my friend Maribel Cordero is going to be already done with that seat. I think this is the best time to run. I don't like to run against incumbent if they're doing the job. So when I see the opportunity, I say, you know what, it's time for me to come back and try to be successful and work on the same areas. I strongly believe that my district is behind. And we are right now in District 43. And we are stuck on time. I think that is not fair what we're living right now in Orange County. And I think that I answered the question. And I have to be kind of fast.
No worries. It'll be only 20 more questions. I'm just kidding. A few more questions quick, so that I know that you guys are very busy. But hey, Johanna, District 4 continues to experience significant residential and commercial growth. If elected, how would you balance that growth with the need for transportation, infrastructure, attainable housing, and a business-friendly permitting process?
Definitely. When I talk to consultants in the business side and with business owners, something that they always say is Orange County is not friendly with business, and it's extremely sad. I think that we need to improve our bureaucracy as a commissioner and in Orange County, so we can expedite permits in so many ways. Expedite permits are going to help us not only with local businesses like this, but also with attainable housing. People say, no, we cannot do affordable. Yeah, but we're waiting. Our contractor and developers are waiting almost 4 years to build something. And every single time they ask for a permit, they go back and start all over because something is missing. They cannot continue with the rest of the permits. And I think that we need, number one, to be respectful to the staff of Orange County, okay? Number two, that the dais is not for political debates. It's to have being strategic, focused, and having the conversations needed to address the needs that we're facing with business owners, with working families, because the problem is that it becomes a political situation of debate. This is not Tallahassee. This is a board that is a non-partisan racist. And for me, it's concerning that, you know, even in Tallahassee, I could work across the aisle. I think that here we need to be more respectful to each other and to our staff. So I think that help improving bureaucracy. Number two, expediting permits. And number three, I think that we have to bring everybody to the table. You know, I heard a lot with growth and smart growth. Everybody's saying the same thing when it comes to politics, you know. Every paper saying the same thing if you're running for commissioner, affordable housing, smart growth. I'm not gonna say the same thing. What I'm gonna say is that I already have a proven record that when I work together and put everybody at the table, I have proven results. And you just have to look into my history as a school board and also as a state rep.
Awesome. That was a great answer. Also, what specific changes would you support to make Orange County contracting, you know, the procurement, permitting, like you just mentioned, but also the economic development programs more accessible to small, minority-owned and locally based businesses? Because we found out that sometimes when they ask for our help, in our case, in our chamber, they tend to have like a little of a hard situation to get there, to how to get to the information that they need to in order to get those permits.
You know, number one, I think that educational piece is very broken in Orange County. I'm so sorry. As a teacher, I think that every single time we provide spaces to educate, the community get more engaged and follow up, and we can help them. You know, I want to say shoulder to shoulder. Something that I experienced when I was a legislator is that nobody knows about appropriation. How do we get appropriation? You know what? Let's do trainings, okay? Let's do training in Spanish, bilingual training, all English training. So I try most of the time to provide educational pieces so our nonprofit and C4 know how to follow up in order to get money, you know? But from what I see, the educational portion is just in the system, it's just in the government, in the staff, you know, that all the responsibility go into the staff. But me as a commissioner, I'm gonna bring the staff to my district to follow up with my business owners so they can follow up what do you need, you know, the listening to, you know, I'm doing this listening tour since last year. You see my social media. Listening tour is working so well for us, because the community continue to stay engaged with our office and we're able to follow up with every need. Sometimes elected officials got offended because I follow up, because I continue, 48 hours, continue, no, let's call, you know, I need that meeting. So I think that the engagement is more than giving away food, okay? I think that we need more than that. We need educational spaces to our business owners, and they need us to be the voice of them in the county. As a school board member, okay, I did not recall one day putting in the spot the staff. You know what I did? When I have a business owner, because we also have a procurement department at a school board, we have a budget of $4.5 billion. We're 4th largest in the state, 8th largest in the nation. I remember that I sit down with the procurement chief. I said, I need a meeting with you. I have all of these concerns from businesses. What are we gonna do? Because I don't want to be in the microphone in front of everybody for what? For political reason, because I'm running for something, or I wanna run in the future for something. We have to build better relationship with the staff in order to be more successful with our business owners locally. Because, you know, we just go and come and go, you know, 4 years, 8 years, then they stay there for 30 years, okay, and retire at 60. Johanna is not that nice, I'm not gonna help Johanna. You know, so, and that's the way I see it. I had the experience as a school board member. I have great experiences in Tallahassee just by respecting the staff and creating great relationships with people. We don't have to agree on everything, but people deserve respect.
Awesome.
Yes, I agree.
I think one more question. One last one. It'll be many entrepreneurs and employees are struggling with housing costs. What role should Orange County play in expanding affordable and workforce housing, which is very different, right, from each other, without placing an unreasonable burden on taxpayers or local businesses?
You know, in Tallahassee, I even co-sponsor bills for attainable housing. When the bill became a law and come to the Orange County, the legal create this interpretation that most of the time the policy is not addressing what the bill is saying at the state level. For me, that's concerning, okay? We passed a bill for attainable housing. It was for faith organizations. And when the bill passed, that I think it was a great opportunity to create affordable housing in churches that have more than 3 acres, okay? When the bill passed over here, they're supposed to allow the churches to have at least 10% of revenue at the local level. But no, when it came here, they put no, it's 100% affordable housing. But why? We created the law to alleviate the faith community and to help the contractor. So if we create something in Tallahassee, and that's why it's so important that we have the experience in the legislature when we run for commissioner, because that experience helps us to follow up with the bills that are gonna help our constituents to get the affordable housing. So we make sure that whatever the legal department says, wait, I was there. That's not what the bill intended to do. That's what the law intended to do. You know, why we have to take away this option for the contractors, or this revenue for the, you know, that tax exempt for contractor, or this revenue for the churches. But we need to know. We need to follow up there, you know? We cannot being just following up with whatever the legal department is saying. The commissioners tell the staff what to do. It's not the staff saying to the commissioner what they have to do. And I see that sometimes that's the problem that we're facing. No, I cannot do that because the staff told me, I'm not here to hear what the staff told you. I'm here to have this conversation, and you go and talk to the staff or bring the issue in the dais if you don't find any type of solution behind the scene, because this is what politics is. Sometimes I see people, you have to do it. No. You have to go, through this process of having conversations behind the scenes to make things happen and everybody feel respected. It's not that people say, Johanna did it. I don't care who did it. I care that happened. If it was me behind the scenes, I'm okay, but it's happening, But I think that most of the time, we don't have those type of conversations and interpretation of the laws that are providing the solution for our contractor, for our business owner, in this case, for the faith community, just as an example. But I will be more than glad in having more conversations about this in details. I'm sorry, because I don't want to take anybody's time.
No worries. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
She's a future very commissioner from Chicago. You mentioned about business owners, business owners and small businesses are literally lo que lleva, ¿verdad? El motor, and one thing that I have faced with these locations is every time you reach out to any politics, mayor or a commissioner or anybody in regards to, for example, we have an issue here that we cannot put signs outside because the law said that you cannot do it because traffic, whatever. But they don't even want to sit down with you and guide you or help you. Okay, let's do something. They let you drown. They don't help you. They don't give you the help. But when the 4 years come, like this time, they're knocking on your doors. Oh, I need you. I want you to be part of it. Yeah, but I'm reaching out to you for 2 years to see how I can promote who we are, because I'm not the only one. There's many businesses that I know. You cannot put a sign outside, and the city or the county, whoever, they don't even, you know what, this is the rule, I don't care. If you cannot make it happen, just close the door and go somewhere else. Basically, that's our response. And you as a commissioner, what would be your plan for small businesses that are struggling, especially on the Golden Road on this side? Because on that side, they can do whatever they want because it belongs to another area. But then on this road, Car Watch and all this, because I have met with all these corporations, they literally struggle to put their name out, to announce, but because the city doesn't allow it, or because the district, well, I don't know, because I don't get involved, but they don't allow it, and you get tired. You reach out to them, even the windows, you cannot put signs, because this side on the road, you're not allowed to do that.
Well, I can continue to be who I am in terms of being, having open doors. I am extremely committed in follow up with our business owners, with the entire community, and I always said, I'm a pro-choice, but I always open the door for pro-life. And we can talk, and we can agree to disagree, but we can find the solution at the end. Something that I experienced here in my district, I met this owner that have more than 127 punch-ups across the state, in other states, and in Puerto Rico. And this person, he told me, no, we have a problem, but nobody listened to me. And I say, okay, what is the problem? Okay, come, I want to give you a tour. He showed me his storage, okay? He has a lot of papers, a lot of it. So, okay, so what is the problem? Well, they do not allow us to do electronic transactions, buy or sell. We have to do it in paper. And we have to save the paperwork for 5 years, okay? And he has 127. Nobody's listened to this guy. 127, okay? The guy, And I say, you know what? I think that's an easy fix because that's something, that's something at a state level. And I remember that I told him, okay, you have to go here, go there. I talked to so-and-so, and we achieved the deal, And something that I always, I'm going to remember about this, I called Plasencia, Representative Plasencia, a Republican. And I said, listen, Plasencia, I'm a Democrat. This is an easy deal. But in order for this bill to pass, I need a Republican by my side because I don't think that the speaker is going to allow me to pass this bill at this moment because I'm passing other bills. And she said, Johanna, you don't need me. You're going to pass it. It's an easy fix. I said, well, I don't know. We never know. And she said, okay, put me in the bill. And I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to say, but she supported me and she was there and we passed the bill, And it is extremely, thankful, now we are fixing more problems. It's safety. Because if somebody steals something from you, now it's electronically, now it's also a person can be liable for that because now we can find out if somebody steals that product and is selling something before we couldn't do it. So we fix so many things at the same time only by helping one homeowner, one business owner. So for me, my promise is open doors all the time. Okay, and have a great stop.
All right, thank
Okay,
you so much, Johanna. Thank you so much.